On a tiny, isolated rock in the North Atlantic, three men vanished without a trace. There were no signs of struggle, no clue where they went, just a lighthouse left eerily empty, and a mystery that has endured for over a century. This is the terrifying true story of the Flannan Isles disappearance. December 1900. The lighthouse on Eileen Moor, one of Scotland's remote Flannan Isles, had just been built the year before. It was state-of-the-art, designed to withstand the brutal winds and waves of the North Atlantic. Staffed by three experienced keepers, James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur, the lighthouse operated in complete isolation, miles and miles from the mainland. For months, the lighthouse ran without incident. The keepers followed strict routines, maintaining the light, recording weather conditions, and sending regular signals to the mainland. Supplies were dropped off every 2 weeks, and the men often sent letters back with the relief boat. Some of those letters survived. In them, the men mentioned the loneliness of the rock, the constant howling wind, and the strange sensation that they were being watched. MacArthur, in particular, wrote of sleepless nights, claiming he sometimes heard voices in the storm. They rotated shifts, 3 men on the island. It was a hard life, but a predictable one, until it wasn't. On December 15th, the lighthouse's beam went dark. Passing ships noted the silence. By the 26th, the relief vessel Hesperus was dispatched. As it approached, something felt off. The flag wasn't flying. No one came to greet the ship. The landing dock was eerily still. Relief keeper Joseph Moore was the first ashore. He climbed the steep stone steps to the lighthouse, and what he found chilled him to the bone. The door was unlocked. Oilskins, waterproof gear, were missing for 2 of the men. The third set remained hanging. The clock had stopped. A half-eaten meal was left untouched. One chair was tipped over, as if someone had stood up in a hurry. The fire was cold. The logbook's final entries added to the mystery. Marshall had recorded powerful storms battering the island, even mentioning that Ducat had grown unusually quiet, and MacArthur, known for his temper, had been weeping. These were hardened men. What could reduce them to such a state? But stranger still, nearby stations indicated calm weather during the days Marshall described as storm-ridden. Outside, Moore and the crew inspected the island. Near the west landing, things grew stranger. A steel rail had been bent. Heavy storage boxes were torn from their place. Turf had been ripped clean from the cliff's edge. A rope container was missing entirely, despite being secured in place. An investigation was launched. The theory? A massive storm had swept the men into the sea. But questions lingered. Why had one man left his gear behind? Why had all 3 gone to the cliffs together? breaking protocol? And what kind of wave could bend iron and drag grown men into the abyss without a trace? As word spread, theories flourished. Some blamed madness, one man killing the others, then leaping to his death. Others suggested pirates, or perhaps a secret rescue gone wrong. But the most chilling theory was something else entirely. Locals believed the island was cursed, that strange figures had been seen walking the cliffs, that the men were taken by something ancient, something inhuman. To this day, the Flannan Isles remain uninhabited. The mystery remains unsolved. The lighthouse was later automated, no longer requiring keepers, and no one has lived there since. There were no bodies, no final words, just 3 men who vanished into the sea air, and a lighthouse that still watches the waves, alone.